Dude, this thing's a fucking rocket. Ladies and gents, 2022 Audi RS5 Sportback in Navarra Blue. It's a really great looking car. The owner takes immaculate care of this vehicle, as you can see. This is the B9 generation, and I'm particularly excited to drive this today because it's the first Audi RS product that I've been driving. And today I'm curious to see, does it live up to the hype? Because when the RS6 Avant came out, everyone said that is the car, the ultimate enthusiast dream car that is dual duty. You know, you can have fun with it, you can take the family, you can really carve the canyons with it. It does everything well. And today I'm thinking, well, this RS5 does it because, as you guys know, Audi products all-wheel drive, and the way that they have it set up is that the engine is actually in front of the front axle. So I then get concerned about things like understeer. Market value used for these right now is around $60,000, but the owner has done a ton of mods. The full mod list, as always, is down in the description. We're powered by a 2.9 liter twin turbocharged V6, making 444 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque when stock, but he has the 034 Motorsport Dynamic Stage 1 with E85 tune, which makes 566 horsepower, 610 pound-feet of torque at the crank. We've got these gorgeous BC forged RZ21 wheels, 20-inch by 10, offset 23, finished in brushed dark black. I think it looks great. Wrapped in Continental Sport Contact 6 and 275 section width all around. Now, 034 Motorsports in Santa Clara has actually done a lot of mods on this car, including suspension work, chassis bracing, and more. Again, full mod list down in the description. And one more thing, keep in mind this car did come with dynamic package, which includes RS Sport suspension with dynamic ride control, aka adaptive dampers. Immaculate interior. Love this as well. The carbon fiber on the rear of the driver's seats looks so good. And apparently it was one of one at the time, and then since then more people have made them. But he had these done, which look fantastic. Appreciate these floor mats so that less stress as you're driving around in your multi-purpose vehicle. She comes to life. Even the steering wheel here is aftermarket, as are the paddles. They didn't make the flat bottom wheels in the newer model years, so we added that. Really nice high resolution, good contrast screens here. And we have a few different modes. We're gonna start in RS1, which is the most aggressive everything. We have the exhaust valves open, it's gonna be loud, suspension is gonna be stiffer. And before we set off, I just wanna appreciate how nicely built this is. I mean, from the way that the door feels, how heavy it is, the thunk when it closes, everything just feels really nice and solid. Owner mentioned that the automatic shifting logic is a little bit wonky, so we're gonna go into manual mode. Holy shit, dude, this thing is quick. Wow. First impressions, this is such a solidly built car. Even as you start pushing a little bit, the chassis feels more solid than other cars in this bracket. You're feeling the suspension do more of the work. And that suspension is damped really well, but it is a little bit over damped. Let's try to put this down into RS2. I can get my RS mode button. We're in auto, no, RS1, RS2, there we go. Now we're gonna have this in the middle setting. £4,000, but it's handling its weight pretty well. You feel the heft, but there's nothing really unexpected going on. Very planted. I just drove that Giulia right before this, and that car felt so nervous, especially on those P0s. The suspension is dialed in so well at a car of this weight. The body control and comfort combination is very hard to achieve. I'm already impressed right off the bat. And granted, we're driving this on street, not on track, so we're not getting really to the limit. We're quite a ways away, and I'm not having any issues with understeer. The car feels balanced, the car feels predictable, the car feels great. By the way, these paddles, they are obviously aftermarket carbon fiber, and they have this very crisp actuation. The actuation feels good, but that sound, it's a little bit too sim racing for me. I love these violent shifts. Really feel that kick in the back of your seat. Love the sounds this thing makes. From the outside, it is glorious and quite loud. On the inside, it's a good balance. It's not so loud that it's punishing by any means, but it's also not so quiet that it's too much of a luxury saloon. Now keep in mind, this is more sports sedan, luxury focused rather than a sports car, obviously. Yet the way they've dialed this in is that it's still quite fun. It's so planned, it's so easy to drive, and while the steering is quite numb, it has this directness and precision that gives you some confidence. Now let's dial this back into comfort. And just like that, personality completely transforms. Soft, well damped, and it still has the solidity that I love. It feels so well built. You know, I've driven a few Audis before. I've driven, I believe it was a A4 out on track. I've driven the Audi TT, and those cars didn't quite speak to me in the way that this car is. This car has converted me to really appreciating what Audi is and understanding what the hype's about. Because this car, I think, does that dual duty and gives you that fun in a way that it's hard to find true dual duty in this manner. Steering ratio is not too fast, like in many of the modern BMWs. The solidity is there. A lot of the Germans have that solidity and that build quality that you can feel not just when you drive it, but even when you just sit in the car stationary, it feels incredible. Thank you, sir. Now, is this the car that I would want to take on track? Probably not. Consumables are going to be so expensive. It's also quite heavy. And again, in those situations where you are pushing it to the limit, you're going to be concerned about that understeer with the engine being so far forward. Because people always focus on weight balance, how much of the weight is on the front versus the rear. But as I've explained in a previous video, the polar moment of inertia is far more important. Meaning, how close is that weight to the center? How readily does it rotate? That's going to influence your balance. And with the engine so far forward, you would expect more understeer on the track. Again, I'm not driving this car on track, so I can't confirm that. Let's do this back into RS2. Dude, this thing's a fucking rocket. So going back to the conversation, would I want to track this? No. But for a car that I'm going to be driving on street as my daily, and I want to have fun with it while I drive, both to and from work, but also when I go on the canyons, this thing just knocks it out of the park, especially at that price point. Now, keep in mind, again, the owner has put a lot of mods into this vehicle, and that full mod list is quite extensive. So how does this compare to a stock example? Maybe we'll answer that in a future video. But the way he has set this up and the way this car is just so planted, confidence inspiring, and multifaceted. You can do the comfortable cruising like we're doing right now. I'm driving in luxury, and then with the flip of a switch, it can be that missile that is gonna give me the confidence to push the car and feel that excitement when I'm in the canyons. Overall, super impressed with the Audi. Would I buy one? Actually, I see the appeal. And especially if I got the Avant, the RS6 Avant, where I have that additional space in the rear, maybe I could fit my bike in there, or just have that additional practicality, that more cargo space than the Sportback here. I mean, yeah, man. I see the argument, and it's a very convincing argument. I can't deny that. I will say, even in comfort, you can tell this is a sporty vehicle, right? It's not totally plush, but you do have a big magnitude change between the settings, and the quality of the suspension when you go over bumps, how it compresses, how it rebounds, it definitely feels like a newer generation of suspension technology, which makes sense. I mean, this is a 2022 model year, but I just drove a 2018 Giulia Quadrifoglio, and that definitely feels like a prior gen with suspension tech. Really impressed by this vehicle. My friends, let me know what you think of this RS5. Big thanks to the owner for letting me review his vehicle. Big thanks to Fenton Sun from the Zygreen channel for making this review possible. My friends, if you want your car reviewed, visit us on JabalAndCars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage, and I'll see you all in the next one.